Welcome to a little bit of history about the Sonoma County Medical Association Alliance. The beginnings of the Women's Auxiliary to the Sonoma County Medical Society coincided with one of the most economically perilous times in our nation's history, the stock market crash of 1929. Perhaps these women thought this was a good time to focus their attentions on how they could support their physician spouses or on how they could influence the health and well-being of their communities. We'll never know. What we do know is that Sonoma County's own Jean Rogers stepped up to accept the role of president to the Women's Auxiliary to the California Medical Society, and soon after, Rosemary Spears became the first president for Sonoma County's chapter. Their stated purpose was to be the supportive voice for medicine, child and maternal health, and public health.
As the Depression deepens, the population of the county grows to 62,000. Of these residents, there is an increasing number of poor who require assistance. Large-scale WPA projects like the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco and the Sonoma County Hospital in Santa Rosa help keep the population employed.
Owing to the great distances between group members, regular meetings were difficult to hold, and as a result, the auxiliary became inactive in 1934. But with the help of the state auxiliary president, the Sonoma County chapter was reorganized in November 1939 with 18 members.
At the beginning of this decade, doctors are challenged by the presence of polio, pneumonia, and tuberculosis. More than 30 cases of polio are reported in the county. Physicians make good use of the miracle drug penicillin in the treatment of pneumonia. And with the help of miniature chest x-rays, people are screened for tuberculosis.
Throughout the 1940s, people continue to come to Sonoma County with a population of nearly 100,000 by 1948. Auxiliary membership grows steadily as well, with 80 members now. The projects they were involved in during the war years include giving aid to the American Red Cross, the USO, and sending packages of clothing to war-torn Europe. Members hosted teas, inviting nurses as their guests, and fundraising took the form of bridge parties held by members in their respective towns. One benefit card party enabled them to donate $150 to help in the establishment of a blood bank.
As the Cold War begins and the fear of a nuclear war abounds, residents build backyard bomb shelters and begin stockpiling food. The first atomic-era civil defense drills test students' ability to duck and cover. At the beginning of the decade, the medical community welcomed some new changes with the opening of Memorial Hospital and an additional wing being built into the county hospital. By 1956, the first free polio vaccine shots were given to over 500 children in Sonoma County.
At this time, women joined the auxiliary to get to know other physicians' wives. Physicians were revered, and the auxiliary events were printed in the social sections in the local newspaper, even where they went on vacation. The auxiliary raised funds for nursing scholarships by putting on dinner dances and fashion shows. Other charitable programs which were supported included the Blood Bank, Sonoma Society for Crippled Children, Sonoma County Mental Health, and the March of Dimes. It's also at this time that President B.B. Anderson begins the Foster Children's Gift Program in 1951. Holiday gifts were donated by members, and with the help of social services, they were given to children in foster care. We continue to conduct this program today. The group continues to work with the Medical Society to host meetings and dinners, and at their request, undertake the task of writing a history of medicine in Sonoma County.
On a national level, President Johnson makes Medicare and Medicaid available to the underserved in an effort to combat the war on poverty.
The auxiliary, which is now 150 strong, continues to strengthen the medical community. In response to the growing cost of a medical education, the Medical Society and Auxiliary combined their efforts to begin a loan program for medical students. It later transitions to a nonprofit scholarship program known today as the Health Career Scholarship. New fundraising strategies were attempted during this time with the first Christmas auction and a campaign that continues today, the Holiday Greeting Card. This was a way for medical families to send holiday greetings throughout the medical community while raising money for the scholarship fund. Just as our nation was expanding beyond our known borders, our members were expanding the leadership experiences into the community by becoming more involved with local government. Lee Van Giesen became a member of the Planning Commission, and Helen Rudy started serving on the Santa Rosa Board of Education.
From gas rationing to unemployment, drought concerns to Proposition 13, the 70s brought our county new issues to contend with.
The auxiliaries being the first sponsors of the Special Olympics in Sonoma County was a highlight of this time. Organizers acknowledged there was a lot of work put into this endeavor, but the joy of doing it and the pleasure they all gained from their experience was well worth it. Members participated in cruising the San Francisco Bay, celebrating a festival of art, and who could forget having their colors analyzed. They also were delighted by the King Tut exhibit trip, which served as a great fundraiser and a chance to immerse themselves in culture. Auxiliary members were right in stride with the women's movement of the day as they filled leadership roles. Helen Rudy became the first woman elected to the Sonoma County Board of Supervisors. Donna Bourne became Santa Rosa's first woman mayor. Then within our auxiliary, Betty Swenson and Lee Van Giesen moved into state leadership roles.
The 80s brought computers into our homes and AIDS into our awareness. Sonoma County reports over 100 cases in 1987. Dr. Marshall Kubota becomes a medical expert on AIDS and an advocate towards working for a cure.
This was a popular time to be an auxiliary member, with an all-time high of 256 members whose interests drove a variety of workshops. Members also started an array of programs. "37,000 Starting Points brochures, a community resource guide created by the auxiliary, are distributed throughout the county. The uniqueness and effectiveness of the brochures are recognized with a Public Service Award from the City of Santa Rosa. Poinsettia sales during the holidays raised more than $35,000 over the years that it occurred. A majority of those funds went to support the YWCA Women's Shelter.
High-tech companies continue to move into Sonoma County, resulting in a jobless rate of only 2.6%. In 1990, Kaiser Permanente opens its Santa Rosa Hospital, while Sutter receives permission to purchase Community Hospital in 1995.
As our national organization, the AMA Alliance, updated its look to keep in step with the times, we followed suit and changed our name to the Sonoma County Medical Association Alliance. Projects that we continued to support included Project Graduation, Parent Network, and Teen Issues Night. While hosting a garden tour was not a new fundraising idea, the group decided to recycle it in 1991. It was deemed a success and is a community-wide fundraising event that our garden tour guests look forward to year after year. Alliance members keep community needs in mind as they work towards raising ever more funding that supports the YWCA Women's Emergency Shelter, face-to-face AIDS education and prevention programming, and home hospice for kids with terminal illnesses. With effective leadership and efficient organization, our County Alliance becomes one of the most successful in California. We establish a charitable foundation and institute a grant review process which allows many local nonprofit organizations an opportunity to benefit from our fundraising. We offer grant funding to address health and well-being topics across all age levels, as well as those which specifically address issues like childhood obesity and mental health. We recognize the importance of celebrating our outstanding members with the establishment of the Alley Awards, which showcases accomplishments, working together, and the deep commitment that our members develop as they work on programs and events that make a difference in our community. Described as one of the most beautiful luncheons presented in the county, the Sharing Our Hearts Luncheon with its engaging and topical speakers was a not-to-be-missed event that was presented throughout the decade. It stands out as not only a lovely community event, but also served to raise funds for one of the most innovative school-based health clinics in our county, the Roseland Children's Health Center. This is also the time that the Safe Schools program was started, with the vision to help our teachers and schools receive the tools they need to teach anti-violence and anti-bullying lessons. We now celebrate the 11th year of effecting change in how our students treat one another. This is an all-volunteer organization. We depend on one another as we learn new skills and try new ideas. The foundation has benefited from the hard work and dedication of these volunteers who become chairpersons and committee members, and together with generous donor support have raised over $1 million that has been invested back into our community. Today we confidently take steps to build upon the Alliance Endowment, which was set up to ensure the future of our programming.
After 85 years, we are 160 members, strong and growing. After 85 years, we have honored the importance of our friendship and collegiality. After 85 years, we are proud to say we have made an impact in our community. We look forward to what the next 85 years will bring, so that we can learn and grow together, just as the first auxiliary members did when they first met so long ago.